Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to expose exactly what I'm selling to service-based businesses that allow me to generate anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 every single month at just 21 years old, and exactly how you guys can copy me as well. Okay. Now, at some point, you've probably tried one of these business models before in the past, like trading, FBA, SMMA, e-com, drop shipping, and you've probably seen little to no results at all. And that's just because these business models are genuinely bad. All right. This one in specific that we're going to be covering in this video is allow me to generate passive income every single month without all the hurdles. All right. And while you've been chasing these business models, trying to make your first profit, like I said, I've been making anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 every single month passively, generating my clients millions of dollars and allowing myself to buy 2 supercars in the past year, a Huracan Performante and an A12 Superfast. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but I'm showing you how realistic it's actually to jump into this business model and make insane amounts of money, okay? But in reality, you know about these bad business models right here. These are the graveyard of them, all right? Because they are all genuinely dead and just oversaturated at this point now, right? Drop shipping, you guys already know about that, right? You're always having supplier problems, terrible margins, product research. It's a mess, right? FBA, you need thousands of dollars to start, which most people don't have, right? You have the warehouse. You have to have at least 90 days before you see any sort of profit. You're competing with millions of other people, right? Trading, 95% of traders are just genuinely unprofitable. It's an emotional roller coaster. They're always at their screen and there's no reoccurring revenue. Your month can look from like $100,000 a month. The next month, it could be $10,000 a month, right? Nobody wants that, right? Because if you make a good month one month and you don't have it the next month, then why does it matter, right? How are you going to keep up with your expenses and stuff if you're trying to live this crazy lifestyle? Just doesn't make sense. Generic SMA, everybody knows about this. It's just genuinely dead. It's literally a race to the bottom on who can have the cheapest retainer and offer the most amount of services and pitching the same business models. It's terrible. Okay. Now, while everybody was buried here at these business models, right? Service-based businesses were literally sitting untouched. And it's not your fault, right? You were pointed towards the wrong models by people who literally profit off of your confusion, right? You already knew something was off because most people grind years and never break $5,000 a month. And now you know why. Okay. These business models are done for. All right. The people that you see in these business models that are succeeding are one of very few, to be honest with you. Okay. And let me show you exactly what I'm doing though every single month. And I wish I would have found this business model when I was like 18 years old because I'd be a lot more successful than what I am right now. And that is freelance brand scaling. Okay. All you're going to be doing is run meta ads for the brand and or business. You're going to approach them. Service-based businesses, they're going to be paying for the ad spend every single month. And it's $0 to you because you're offering a free trial. You're going to be generating them results. And then you can convert them onto a high paying retainer, right? Because the good thing about service-based businesses is they usually have high ticket services, right? For example, painting, it's probably going to cost thousands of dollars for an average job, right? And that means if you generate them a shit ton of painting jobs every single month, you're going to be able to easily get away with a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month retainer, which is exactly where this money can stack up very quickly. And not only that, build that reoccurring revenue every single month. Now, why service-based businesses specifically? Okay, it's because it's a physical service that people can see a transformation to where they see a before and they see an after, right? It's immediate. It's not something where they have to see it in person, mess around with it, have a whole bunch of problems. It's just a good service overall. The creative itself is just generally going to be selling the service. And it's perfect for Meta/Instagram, right? You're going to be having repeating buyers, right? For example, landscaping, you're probably going to have landscapers come to your house every single month, clean up the yard, make it look good, right? They're going to be buying over and over again. It's going to have a high AOV and a long LTV over in general, right? And it's an untapped niche, right? Because a lot of people are targeting like clothing, e-commerce, stuff like that, which are very good, but it's long-term, not for beginners. Whereas service-based businesses is like just you and a very select amount of people, right? And this is the red ocean right here, the clothing brands, drop shipping, e-commerce stores where it's you and there's millions of them out there and you're doing 50 DMs every single day getting absolutely nowhere. Whereas the blue ocean here is the service-based businesses that I mentioned before. And that is a list of so many different services. For example, pool cleaning, car detailing, window tinting, all that sort of good stuff, right? You know the list. It goes on and on. If you don't know what kind of service-based business to target, simply use Claude or just ask for some ones that are local to you as well, okay? And you're going to be owning the entire pond if you genuinely become successful in this, and you could literally create an entire domination over everybody in your space. And that's exactly what I've been doing for the past pretty much 2 years on and off with e-com as well as service-based businesses, okay? Now the math here, okay? Let's take a good look. Now, one client, like I mentioned before, if you have a high ticket service, you could charge anywhere from $2,000 a month and or more, right? If you have 5 clients, right? $10,000 a month. That's very doable. Trust me, it's been done before. I've seen students do it before. I've seen other people in the business model do it before as well. If you have 15 clients or more, you could be getting anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 every single month because you're charging insanely high tickets for your services as well. Obviously it's not always just Facebook and Instagram ads as well. You can offer different services, automations, websites, stuff like that can also attribute to making your retainer higher every single month. But that's obviously comes down to the value that you're generally just providing to them in general, right? Now, simple, obviously, it sounds simple. It's just not easy. And that's why I built a repeatable system that you guys can follow every single time and genuinely copy exactly what I'm doing bar for bar, okay? And this is what I call the holy trifecta. Now, let's cover this one by one, okay? Now, let's cover the first one, which is getting the meeting, okay? Now, here's how to actually find and approach these service-based businesses and how to stop mass DMing and start positioning. Now, the wrong way, which pretty much 99% of brand scalers are doing, are sending a shit ton of DMs and getting little to no responses at all, whereas the right way is to actually personalize and make your messages a lot more interesting, which means you're going to be doing less, but you're going to be getting more replies, which means more money, right? Because you can send thousands of DMs, and if you only get a couple responses and you may convert maybe a few of those, it doesn't matter. But let's say you do less, but you get more responses in general, that can convert to more clients overall, right? In this situation, less is more, but you have to personalize it and make it that much more authentic, right? The 5W niche statement, right? Everybody else, you already know, the iScale brands, all that sort of good stuff, right? I've been having this in my bio for a long time now, and I'm actually planning on changing this, but this is what everybody else is doing, right? Which is oversaturated. Nobody cares about seeing this anymore. Honestly, people get turned off by seeing this now, and it's unfocused, and you're going to be getting ignored for the most part. Whereas service-based businesses that go anywhere from 20 to 6 figures is ideally the goal. You can have a different bio and overall just make it a little bit more cleaner and target specifically service-based businesses, not brands in general, because to be honest with you, generally getting e-commerce brands is going to be a lot more difficult than signing your first service-based business. It's generally just the truth, okay? And the Instagram burner algorithm funnel here is very simple. You can make a burner page here or even your main page and interact on only service-based businesses from around 3 to 4 days, like reels, comments, make comments, whatever, reposts, all that sort of good stuff on your page for specifically service-based businesses. Like I said, landscaping, home remodeling, car tinting, car wraps, etc., on and on, right? Once you start kind of engaging with these pages, what's going to happen is your algorithm's actually going to flood the explore page with prospects, okay? You're going to find people that you can actually outreach to, not only, of course, them doing cold outreach through the search bar, but you can actually have an entire page that's all around these businesses. And trust me, if you're using your Instagram just to doom scroll and stuff, please scroll off of this video, like genuinely, okay? You can make a separate page for doom scrolling. This is business right here, all right? And you're gonna have qualified service-based businesses that you can DM every single day, and you do anywhere from 50 to 100 DMs every single day, doing voice notes and or videos that are extremely personalized, and you offering a 7-day free trial, you are going to land clients, period, okay? Now, this is your follow-up sequence here. You have an opener, you bump it up, you can do a comment plus DM, new platform. So if you contacted them on TikTok, you can outreach them on Instagram or vice versa, and you do your kind of final check-in here. Now, these are the day sequence here, but you can obviously do it a lot of a shorter time. And what I highly recommend for all the people that are doing outreach is to make some sort of Google sheet or just something that you can track all of your DMs and who you've sent to, and pretty much make a system either with Claude or just make it yourself, where you could do some sort of color coding exactly where they are in the process and in your funnel, okay? If you just send a cold outreach message, you could put it like maybe green. If they're warm, maybe they're red, or maybe you have to follow up with them, it's orange, right? Make some sort of system that you can easily follow every single time. That way you know exactly where that lead is, and you could just follow up with them very easy, because most of you guys know a majority of where the money is made is in the follow-ups, okay? It's very important to follow that up because if not, you're generally just missing out on money. That's where I make a lot of my money, as well as I'll have inbound leads. Maybe sometimes they'll respond to me, maybe sometimes they don't, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to follow up every single day until I bag them, plain and simple, okay? Now, the next thing is the actual signing the deal part, right? The exact framework I use to close every call. I used to book anywhere from 2 to 3 calls a day and close none until I change this one thing I'm going to show you guys, okay? It's the 3-question close, okay? Drilling deeper into the prospect, all right? What is your biggest marketing challenge is literally the surface level problem, right? This is the tip of the iceberg. Everybody hears this. It doesn't matter, okay? And the next thing is the pain deeper here, which is what happens if it isn't fixed in 90 days, okay? What if they continue to go on the same path that they've been doing every single day? What will happen to their business? Are they already pretty much sinking underwater because they're not getting businesses through the door? Most likely, right? So what's going to happen if that continues to stay that way, right? Now, the real value is if that was solved, what would that be worth to you, right? What if you had consistent people that came in every single day for your business and you were genuinely getting a consistent amount of high quality leads? What would that do for your business? And what would it be worth to you, okay? That literally sells itself. You just confirm the problem and you find a way to solve it and you offer value, an ultimate solution to them, right? Like I said, this is service level. Obviously, you kind of drill into the pain section and then the value behind it, all right? So the more and more you go down into kind of analyzing the problem and you create a solution around it, the easier it is to actually close them, all right? Now, here's the no risk offer behind it, okay? Now, the normal agency is they probably be paying anywhere from $2,000 above every single month off the bat, right? Which if you can land these, please, more power to you. But to be honest with you, a lot of businesses won't do that because it's high risk to them. They don't know who you are. They don't know anything about you. And they're scared to invest into money upfront into their business because it's a risk for them. All right. It's like a literal high risk meter right here. Now, if you do a risk-free trial here where you're doing a 7-day free trial and they only pay ad spend, the risk is very, very, very low. Okay. Look at the graph here. This is literally what it looks like on a business owner's perspective. I've talked to dozens of businesses before in the past and have asked them personally, which one would you prefer? And every single time they're going to want to say this right here. Okay. It's the truth. And once they say yes, everything else follows automatically. Never let them leave the call without signing. Okay. You don't want to do multiple calls where you're following up on them, you're messaging them. You want them to sign on the call. And after you provide these 3 questions right here and you genuinely drill into what their problem is and how to fix this for them, it should be no problem genuinely. Okay. And if not, you need to work on your sales, right? Which I'll make another video on completely. Okay. This is exactly what it looks like. It's literally the domino effect. Okay. They say yes, make a ChatGPT contract, you have the DocuSign on call, card on file for their ads manager, and you launch within 48 hours. It's very, very quick and effective. And these businesses are going to see exactly how you move and how fast you operate and enjoy that, as well as the risk-free situation that we already said before in the past, right? Objection handling is obviously the main thing that you're going to be having here. Every door has a key. Okay. A lot of people are just doing smoke screens and doing things that they can do to essentially feel comfortable or feel like they're not taking any sort of risk, right? Well, I've tried ads before, it didn't work. That's why we start for free results before even paying a single dollar to me, right? I need to think about it. Is it a price or a value issue? Let's solve it now while we're both here. Are they worried that there's not really a value situation here? Or they don't really think it's worth it in general? Or is it a price thing? What is it specifically that they're having a problem with? And how can we fix that on the call, right? You don't want to sit there and DM back and forth or hop off the call and text them a message 3 days later. Hey, what was your, no, that's never going to convert, plain and simple, okay? No budget right now. Start small, scale with results, no pressure, easy as that, right? You can literally start service-based business ads depending on the high or low ticket, depending on the niche, of course. Like if it's a low ticket, you could start with $20 every single day, okay? So if they say that they don't have the budget, it's literally a lie because in that 7 days, let's say you drop $20, right? $140, very, very low end. You could easily get leads within that right there and pretty much recoup all of that cost as well as profit. And they could see the results within that time and eventually close them on a retainer, okay? And that's exactly what we're gonna talk about here. Now, once you deliver the results, right? How to actually run ads that convert. Your creative does 90% of the targeting, not your audience settings. Okay. This is something that everybody needs to wake up to because everybody's like, what audience settings do you run? Blah, 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 blah. Do you do retargeting? Do you do all this stuff? Okay. Those are solid, but genuinely like 100% of the time, your creative is doing most of the work for you. Okay. In your creative, you need to have one of a few things: your service, where you're pretty much doing your service at, the offer, and the CTA. Those 4 things right there should be your moneymaker, being genuinely honest, okay? And the scaling rule here, all right? You start from the bottom, you retain your client long-term, you scale them anywhere from 10 to 25% after you see good results off that ad spend, and then you generally just win. You get results for them, and guess what? You're gonna be able to make some really good content out of it, which we'll get into shortly. Now, client trust is literally like a battery you charge daily. This is one of the most important things I've ever learned in my journey, okay? Think about it like this, all right? If you are here and you have no contact with them, you're not communicating with them, and you go silent, right? You're not providing updates, you're not letting them know what's going on, your trust is going to die very quickly, which means your client is going to churn, which means you're going to lose a retainer or even lose a chance of getting a good retainer, okay? Now, 25%, you maybe do a daily screenshot, you communicate with them a little bit, right? Nothing too crazy. 50%, you do a weekly report delivered that's customized for them that you can make literally in Claude or any sort of AI software. 75%, a monthly creative fresh. Now you're combining all of these trust me, you're going to retain that client. I promise you 100%. Your contract renewed. You know that you built the trust upon that, and they renew on that, and they want to continue to work with you. Okay. Now, once you do this every single week, their trust is going to be renewed literally daily and ensure that they want to work with you and continue to want to pay whatever that they're paying you every single month, right? You built full trust, you got their client, your contract renewed, and the client stays anywhere from 6 to 12 months and or longer, right? You have 100% on this. Once you combine all these, you're good to go, except for obviously this part right here. Next part is what I mentioned earlier, which is the compounding loop here. You deliver results for the business, you screenshot, you post on social media, you do reels or whatever, right? And you can make content saying, I just did this for a similar niche, right? Let's say it's car detailing. You delivered like, I don't know, 30 leads for the business at the end of the month, right? Which is very low end, right? You can go to another car detailer and say, hey, look, I generated leads for this other car detailing company. This is why you should trust me. I have experience. That's going to make your life a lot easier. And you can also make content on it, as I mentioned before, which means then you're going to be able to sign your next service-based business and or niche that you've already been dabbling in with, right? Results compound, one client becomes two, then that becomes 10, et cetera, et cetera. This is the system I'm using to make anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 every single month. The holy trifecta. Nobody is talking about this right now, but I'm exposing literally everything because I genuinely want you guys to succeed in this business model, right? I don't want you guys to be playing around in these graveyard of terrible business models anymore that cost thousands of dollars to start up. You guys already know freelance brand scaling is literally free to start, and people are making insane money with it, literally from the comfort of their home. Like I said, without any sort of startup capital, no sort of prior skills or anything like that. So that's exactly why I want to come on here and break down this video exactly of what I'm doing and how I'm scaling my agency to $70,000 to $100,000 every single month and making insanely high profit margins on that. Okay. It's by using this entire system right here, as well as some of my other videos as well. I highly recommend you guys watch those because there's extreme amounts of sauce on there, especially if you haven't even started your marketing agency. I already dropped like a 41-minute guide, whole bunch of other goodies for you guys to go and watch to help you guys out on your brand scaling journey. But aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and hope you guys learned some value from this video. If you guys have any sort of questions, comment them down below in the comment section. I respond to every single one of my comments. And then if you guys are interested in working me one-on-one, getting my personal phone number, communicating with me, scheduling calls, being in a community with brand scalers that are making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 every single month and or more with proof all over my social media, make sure to click the first link down below in the description, which is freelancebrandscaling.com. The second link down there is where you can apply to actually have your brand and or service-based business scaled with paid ads by me and my marketing agency. Third is all my socials down below. If you guys are wanting to reach out, contact me, ask me questions, feel free to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.